All right, we are live. It's the Spinnin Backfist MMA show for what is today? Wednesday, March 6th, UFC 299 edition. UFC 299 is one hell of a card. Some people are saying better than 300. You could make an argument.
I feel like I love sitting. I just had a deja vu moment you saying we're here because I feel like I've been sitting in this chair waiting for this moment since they announced these fights in like December, like at least the main events.
Yeah.
What was that, November, December they announced them?
We got like the trilogy main event announcement.
Like here we are. Like this is the final. There's like the final boss before the final boss.
True. The penultimate boss.
Before 300. And I agree with you. You could probably make an argument the 5 fights in the main card, you could make an argument I think are better.
Yeah.
And I mean, even the prelims
are amazing. 300 has the edge.
Almeida Blaydes is a prelim, obviously insane. RDA Gamrot, where in the world would you say those two guys are on a prelim?
They're like the second prelim fight too, on like not the total prelims, but after the early prelims. I think they're second.
Even like even Pedro Munhoz, Phillips.
Yep,
that could easily be like an opening fight on like a pay-per-view main card.
Yeah,
just incredible fights.
In Miami too, so it should be an awesome crowd. Yeah. Do want to shout out before we get into this show, New Amsterdam Vodka. New Amsterdam Vodka, born from an uncompromising passion for great vodka. While making great vodka is a passion, they are most inspired to stay true to who they are and share an unbridled passion for everything they do. For pursuing their dreams, to celebrating with friends, to having an epic night out. That's why New Amsterdam Vodka is the official vodka of Barstool Sports. Find your wins with New Amsterdam. It'll be flowing in Miami this weekend for UFC 299. Miami. That's how Dave says it. He likes to say Miami.
Maybe that's what they call it down there.
Maybe they do.
Did you see the fights that Bellator announced or PFL announced? They're doing a card on May 17th.
Oh, yes.
Usman Nurmagomedov against Alexander Shabili. Who's very good, and then Patchy Mix against Magomedov. Some pretty good fights there. Those are two title fights. Those are two really good matchmaking. I think it looks like it's in Paris.
I believe so.
They got Cedric is fighting this weekend.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Thursday. It's tomorrow.
Shit! I didn't realize it was tomorrow.
And Lazy Boy. The main card's going to be on in the States on YouTube.
Yep.
Where it wasn't. I believe the last time he fought, I don't think it was available for
PFL Europe last year. Wasn't available in America.
Yeah, this year it's on. I believe the PFL MMA.
I didn't realize
channel.
That's tomorrow. So what time is that going to be?
I think the main card's at like 2.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, so we'll be here.
The main event and co-main event are like I'm very excited about.
Yeah.
Doombay is the betting underdog.
Yeah.
Holy shit, is he really?
There's odds on DraftKings in certain. I know in New York. I know Jersey there was.
No, so New York, the Bellator versus PFL was not on DraftKings, but this one is. So Doombay's like plus 105.
Wow.
But the guy he's fighting is like a very like people are very high on him. I think he's 7-0 or 7-1, something like that.
Wow.
So he's undefeated, or I mean he's either undefeated or has 1 loss. People are very high on him as well.
They're saying he's now even money.
Okay, so there we go.
And then Friday, Joshua Ngannou.
Yep.
Yeah, crazy. What a weekend.
Did you guys see Ngannou going at Tyson Fury today? Tyson Fury was in the crowd for the press conference.
No, I didn't.
He really went at him. He was basically saying, like, I'd like to get another win over Tyson. He's like, I already got the 1 win. Tyson started yelling back at him. And then Francis was like, listen, in the boxing ring, that's the only place you even have a chance against me. Outside of that, I will break you in 2 seconds. He's like, I'll beat you any day of the week and twice on Sunday. And like people loved it. People were saying Francis 10-8'd him.
When you said it, I loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, in my head, I went, that's a bar.
It was a great clip.
Like saying anywhere, like this, the only chance, like saying put these pillow mitts on, the only chance you have to beat me.
And
because anywhere else, I would literally murder you.
And
because everyone knows it's true.
Yeah.
Speaking of boxing, Ryan Garcia
he's losing it. He's off the deep end.
So, like, obviously, we're in this weird, like, I mean, it's kind of a Venn diagram for me, the conspiracy world.
True, yeah.
What's
combat
the thing
world. He keeps bringing up?
The Bohemian Grove, which is this place in California, which has always been like a top talking point for conspiracy theorists. It's not even a conspiracy. Like, rich people go there, and then people think there's like, it's a band of brothers essentially, and that's where they like plot to take over the world. And there's like sacrifices there. They sacrifice something, and it's a big thing. Or it could just kind of be something that's just like rich people hang out with rich people kind of thing. But they go into the woods essentially. And Ryan Garcia was bringing that up, and he said they tied him to a tree, and they made him watch like
pedophilia.
Pedophilia.
I thought it was something they made him watch like Kill a Kid or something like crazy.
So that's another theory of the Bohemian Grove is that they sacrificed a kid at it.
So like
just it's.
I'm not the best.
Let me go even like almost like even sort of deeper on the conspiracy thing. Is he doing this to sell the fight? Or is he actually going crazy?
I think he's actually going crazy.
I'm seeing a lot of people saying that.
Yeah.
And now I was thinking he actually was going crazy. And now I'm like, I'm not saying he's not, but I'm sort of teetering on like, is he playing it up? Is he not? Is he actually just going legit cuckoo? I don't know anymore.
If he's going cuckoo, I don't think he should be fighting. Like I saw his brother posted and was like, I don't know what's happening with my brother. Like I love him very much. I wish the best for him. I can't.
No, but this could be one big fucking scheme.
That's what Haney is saying. That Haney is like he's trying to.
But is this making anyone want to watch him fight?
Oh, I don't. That's a good question. I don't know. I guess we'll find out pay-per-view day. It's bringing a ton of eyeballs to Ryan Garcia.
It is,
which in theory you'd think would translate to buying the fight. I don't know if that will or not. But Haney is saying like,
fight more.
He's almost trying to like play mind games with the people, so they buy it and play mind games with him. So he thinks like he's not coming in serious, he's not coming in ready, and then all of a sudden we see like tip top Ryan Garcia. I don't know what's really going on.
This is a crazy card to play because
I agree.
You could get knocked out here. You still have your whole life to live. He's what, 22, 23?
And it's like
he went deep in conspiracy. Not like, I kind of believe in the Bohemian
He said
Grove.
He's seen it happen.
Yeah, he said they tied him to a tree.
They said
he claimed that himself.
And they said, quote unquote, they took all his credit cards, all his money.
Yeah, his phone. He did that video to clear things up. He said clearing things up, and he's like, hey, just to clear things up, they have my phone, they have my credit cards, and I can't do anything. And everyone's like, so that doesn't clear anything up.
He's like,
nothing.
They don't let me see my kid. Like, who's they?
Who's they?
In certain instances, you can guess who they is, but here it's like, what are you talking about? Like, who's not letting you see your kid? It sounds
like a super extreme, like, conservatorship, like the Britney Spears thing.
But he doesn't have a conservatorship. Well,
not to our knowledge, no.
So there's
maybe with Oscar.
Well, some people are saying like this is his humiliation ritual. That's another like we could spend all day talking about it, but it is crazy. Devin Haney's tweet made me feel as if this is just a work. He was like, hey, he's doing this to sell the fight, which is kind of crazy because there are people who are actually crazy. I think that's what he said. Yeah. They'd be like, and then you see Sean Strickland's video. He was like, this guy has mental issues. He's like, sometimes I wake up and I just want to kill somebody with a chainsaw. So like, I get it, man. I was like, what the fuck?
I believe the example he used was sometimes I wake up and want to choke a puppy.
Oh my God.
I believe is the way he described it.
He said like,
or something like that.
The birds could be chirping. It's sunny out. And I want to kill somebody with a chainsaw. And I was like, damn, bro. And then he was like, just stay with your friends and keep training. I was like, all right. I mean, not a bad advice for Garcia. Just like, hang around your friends and train, but I would say 75 to 80% chance he's doing this to sell the fight.
Really? You think that high a chance? Yeah.
It's his points, what he's talking about are so like
internet
elementary, like our Bohemian Grove. Like Bohemian Grove's like not even like conspiracy theory. It's just like people know about it.
Yeah.
But it was back in the day. Alex Jones was the one that initially exposed it. We should cut this part out and put it up as a Rumble exclusive.
Oh,
Rumble will love it. Like diving into Ryan Garcia, the Bohemian Grove.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tag it.
I can make a new thumbnail.
Shout out Rumble. Shout out Rumble.
Shout out Rumble. Shout out the people in the Rumble chat. By the way, Adams, what's going on? Lord C Style says, "What's up? 299 is pretty stacked. Looking forward to it even more than 300." Hot Billy in the chat, in the Rumble chat, says my boy said he saw Jack Mack at a Gold's Gym in a stringer tank this past weekend.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, shout out me. Yeah.
Hot Billy's also asking if I'm a Commanders guy. I actually am a Commanders. I mean, I'm not like a diehard football fan, but
shout out 47 brand.
I was raised a Washington fan, so I am a Washington fan. Sadly, I wish I wasn't.
Yeah, tough.
You want JJ, or do you not even know?
JJ McCarthy from Ohio State.
No, Michigan.
Close.
Michigan. All right. I knew they were, related. No, I don't want that guy.
Oh, okay. we've had some battles over in our area with Evi, Travi, others about Jay. He's the number one like controversial quarterback in terms of like, will he be good?
No, he won't be good.
That's
there it is.
We'll
Done.
Yeah.
Don't draft him.
I like that. Yeah, you're like the guy on the side of the street for Johnny Manziel. Like almost guys like draft Manziel. You're like, yo, no, do not draft.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Is it?
Oh, in the chat we got a JJ McCarthy stinks, all caps.
I mean, he is the most controversial guy. Like people like are either like me, I love him, or people are like, no, he's not even gonna like. He'll be worse than Zach Wilson, which. Big F's the biggest proponent of this. Zach Wilson's the worst quarterback of the past. Like,
he's hard. I don't even want to get into it because I'll start just becoming a football show. Yeah. I'll get so deep into this. I actually think I'm now higher on JJ McCarthy than people would think.
Okay.
I like him way better than Bo Nix. I'll leave it at that.
I agree with that.
Quilly in the chat says thoughts on the weigh-in rules for 299. Everyone has to weigh in during the first hour. No 2-hour window.
I actually was going to put in the chat and I forgot to.
Yeah,
I saw a tweet about
Florida rules.
Yeah, there's an hour window to weigh in. That's it. 60 minutes, 1 hour. That's it.
And Cheeto usually has a tough weight cut. O'Malley, I think, does too.
And think it'll be an extra pound for now. Sugar's done it now once for Cheeto. That full extra pound.
I know Cheeto kind of has like his historically just talked about how like his weight cuts are a little difficult.
He's the thing with I don't worry about someone like him though. He's such a professional.
Yeah.
Oh, he won't.
Like he's somebody who stays in the gym like 24 like 365 train like just always like on point with his weight and shit like that. Him, I'm not worried. It's more somebody like a Michelle Pereira didn't move up to 185 like someone like him at 170. I would have been worried about. At 185, I'm not as worried about it. Maybe I just jinxed him, but on this card, I'm trying to think of anybody that's really like a weight that I'd be like concerned
Hasn't
about.
Felipe Lins missed weight?
Oh, at light heavyweight, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
I thought so.
Well, he used to be a heavyweight, so yeah, that would be one that maybe. Other than him,
Kudalabo's always on.
Yeah, I'm trying to think anyone else. Even on the main card, like Poirier's a pro. Like I don't see Saint Denis missing weight. No. Like I don't see like Jan or like Yadong or anyone like that. Obviously, the heavyweights, I'm not worried about.
Balsley says
like Burns, Maddalena. I'm not worried about.
Saying these names, and I'm like, holy fuck!
Like,
this card is insane.
That's what I'm saying. It's incredible.
Like Yang Yadong kicks off the pay-per-view, right?
I've said in another world, like where I think that could be like a pay-per-view like main event where Jan is still holding the belt.
Yeah.
Those are alternate universe where he gets the decision with him,
like in Singapore. Shit.
He gets the decision with Sterling. Then he I don't think Sugar would have got the fight if that happened, but then he beats Sugar, like gets that decision. Obviously, he lost to Morab, but I'm saying like there's an alternate universe where he defended the belt like 3 times.
Balsley says in the chat, Sugar's camp mentioned in the vlog they don't anticipate the cut to be that bad this time.
Okay, nice.
And also LJD in the chat worrying me says Saint Denis might have staff ?
You see the thing on his head?
No,
I saw it just from watching. I thought it just like a big ass zit, like a huge.
I don't like whenever somebody says staff. But here's the thing:
I noticed it immediately in the embedded.
Oh,
he's got a huge thing on his forehead. It's huge.
I don't know if that's a pimple.
Is that a different picture?
That's bad, man. That looks like staff to me.
Oh, dude, if this fight got canceled, I'd be so hurt. I don't even want to think about that. I don't even want to think like that.
Let's close the image. Let's not even think about it.
If he has staff, can you fight? No, it's against the rules.
People have gotten away with it.
There was a card where 2 different people said because she said she had staph like based on her butthole.
Like her pussy.
On her butthole, I thought she said.
Her bussy.
On her bussy.
I think Kevin Lee got away with it once. He had
but then another guy in the same card also said he was like, he had some staph.
So they might look the other way, but
the one time he was like he had the bad performance because he was sick and had staph infection.
It's so common because like on the mats and whatnot, so much sweat, whatnot. But I'll have to ask Magic. He'll know. He noticed the staph infection weeks ago.
Another comment in the chat from Balsley I wanted to bring up. He said this card is stacked. If you have to choose your own, if you don't know, now you know fight for strictly the prelims on this card, which fight would you pick?
I mean, Mikal against Pereira is going to be like a banger.
That's what I was.
But those are 2 kind of veterans. It's like they're going to be who they are for the rest of their careers. Like fringe top 15.
Munhoz Phillips.
That's gonna be.
It could be a chess match. That's
gonna go 3 rounds.
Munoz's last few matches have been.
I mean, Asu against CJ Vergara will be a banger.
Yeah, because the only problem was a lot of like grappling fights. I feel like
a lot of the people are going to see this Cuban heavyweight and be like, holy fuck, this is the greatest thing that's ever walked.
He's going to murder Parisian. If like, it's going to be bad. If Parisian doesn't
this guy's minus 345 on
the lines went
right
down because I think I'd
Robellis
plus 350 or more. Like I didn't.
You know his wingspan?
It's the biggest in UFC history. I know.
It's like by far.
Yeah.
He's had 3 professional fights. They've gone
19 seconds total, right?
Total.
Yeah, all 3 combined.
He has a 3-second knockout.
Yeah.
Like, how's that even possible?
Yeah, I know. You got to run across.
Why are you engaging with him in the first 3 seconds? Like,
yeah.
Like he was unconscious already in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
They was like fight.
Like you got to at least just stay in your corner when the fight starts. It's like taking a pitch almost.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
Yeah, against like the greatest pitcher ever. It's like you come out.
Just don't run right at him when the bell rings.
Let's get into this card because we got a ton of fights to get into. Kicking things off, the women's flyweight division, Joanne Wood, not Calderwood, just Wood. Remember that versus Marina Moroz.
All right, so this is the ultimate matchup. It is OnlyFans fade versus retirement fade. So Marina Moroz
she's the OnlyFans model.
And then Joanne Wood's like, this is my last fight.
Yeah.
Now,
good career. I met her at the UFC Performance Institute once. Very nice.
I think Moroz should win, but I mean, like, I'm not taking her minus 225. Yeah, I really don't have like it sucks. It's the first fight of the night, but I just don't really have anything.
Yeah, no, I would bet Moroz if I had to, because I just really don't like betting people in retirement fights unless it's someone specific, and this is not one of those cases.
No, I think she's just kind of like probably went through the training camp, was like, this is it.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go scrap and that's it.
Yeah. Like I expect her to give full effort, but like we even saw last week with Jamie Pickett, RIP, that it was just like about after he kind of like stunned Eric Anders a little bit. After that, he got taken down. Eventually, he was just like, all right, that's it. Like,
yeah.
Next up, CJ Vergara against Asu.
I know this is a hard one to say. Kazakhstan guy. Almabayev is a huge favorite in it.
I think he's pretty good.
CJ Vergara of running away from Daniel Lacerda's fame. One of Lacerda's 8 fights he should have won.
Lacerda still hurts. That one probably hurts the most.
Oh yeah.
That one or the Altamirano one, he had him hurt pretty bad too.
I really like Asu here. I think he's a great parlay piece. I know I'm saying that about a guy who's minus 575, but I think he's going to finish him. Do we have any props?
That's what I just wanted to look. The props aren't out yet, but if he even has to go somewhat reasonable inside the distance play, I would play it.
Why do I have a note about CJ Vergara? I had a note in my notes that just said never bet him ever again.
Because he was the guy that you probably said that after.
It must have been after the Tyra fight.
No, the CJ Vergara. No, you did it after the fight against Lacerda. Remember, he was running around from him, and we bet. I remember you texting about it.
Yeah,
and you were like, "This is ridiculous." And I think we had round 2, round 3, CJ Vergara, and you were like, "Just get the round 2, just get the round 2," and you were like, "I'm never betting."
He got it though.
He got it,
and I still put the note in.
But he ran away.
He literally was legitimately sprinting away from
hilarious.
Lacerda.
What? It's one of the greatest clips ever.
That's why I'm not going to bet him, I guess. The next fight on the card, where I just lost it. This is the big Cuban heavyweight. Robellis Despangui. Is that how you say it? Despangui. Versus Parisian, who he's a sacrificial lamb here, I think.
The under 1.5 is minus 280, and I would say rightfully so, probably.
Yeah.
I think the more I thought, there was part of me early in the week that wanted to get cute and be like, oh, Parisian plus 350. If he dies, he dies. Then lines went down to plus 250. I don't want anything to do with him. He probably gets absolutely murdered inside of like a minute.
I may sprinkle Parisian round 2. I'm almost hoping for a Robellis round 1 KO, and then the hype train starts and we eventually get like a disgusting number.
If he wins big, there'll be a good fade coming soon.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's a guy who has 19 seconds of fight time in his last 3 fights.
He trains in like like he needs.
He is an Olympic medalist.
Yeah,
so he's not like a total like.
He's not a bum.
But I would imagine on the mat, I would imagine his jiu-jitsu and grappling skills aren't like the best. He needs to
get to American Top Team. I'm dead serious. This guy's gym is like, you should see who he trains with. Like I just don't even. There was a very funny video on Josh Parisian.
You're saying he trains with like bums, or you're saying okay.
His gym, I forgot what it's called. I looked it up. If you go on his Instagram, like the gym looks like it's like in the middle of nowhere. It's like he needs to get to a good gym because he obviously has potential.
He's old too. Like he needs to go like now. That's why I think especially if he wins like early knockout, he like I'm saying going on the fade aspect next time. I think he's gonna get a fight where it's gonna be like, like plus money on someone juicy. I think because he doesn't have like this time to like fight like 8 times and get a title shot.
Parisian has this video on his Instagram where he says, "Oh, training for my UFC 299 fight," and it's I think a UFC fighter on top of another, like on a guy's shoulders, and like he's like fighting her. He's like training for it. And then there was this video that DFS by the Numbers put up that was like Josh Parisian's like a workout mixtape, and it was like he's looking agile, so maybe he'll avoid those punches. But then again, this guy's reach is what 87 inches or something.
It's something nuts, yeah.
And like it's like how can you even train to avoid that?
It's just hard to in a cage like that to avoid him for 5 minutes. Because I do agree with you. If it goes past the first round, like if Parisian gets like murdered in the first round and somehow survives, a live Parisian bet would be on the table.
Yeah,
and I agree with you. If you're gonna take Parisian like round 2, round 3, I think is the way to go.
Because
like I'm not gonna bet Robellis, but I'm saying in my brain I envision Robellis just like knocking him out.
Yeah, the only thing is like what I think Ev and I are on the same page on for this guy is what happens if someone with decent wrestling and like avoids it and gets in on a takedown. This guy could be like legitimately awful.
It could be potentially like if you get him on the back once, like he loses immediately.
Yeah, he may not know what to do.
He gets tapped
out,
not
have a gas
or tank. He gets put in either submitted or puts in full mount and gets just like rained on until it's over.
He did have an amateur fight where he was fighting against this massive guy who had him against the fence for like the first 4 minutes, or maybe it was the first 2 minutes of the fight, or 4 minutes. He knocked him out in round 2. Robellis like found a way to knock him out. So there has been, but that was on the amateur scene. So it's a little bit different.
Then we've got Michel versus Mikhail, Pereira versus Oleksiejczuk. Mentioned it as a possible, if you don't know now, you know, a fight, and rightfully so. This one's going to be a banger. They're going to just meet in the center of the octagon and swing.
Yeah, I like. We talk about this in the chat a bunch because I really like Oleksiejczuk. I think he's the side. He's plus money. I really think he should even be like a slight favorite or like pick him at worse. I think he's good. Obviously, very good striker. Pereira's coming up a weight class. He did good against Petrowski in the last fight, but he just kind of knocked him out right away. Petrowski was on short notice. Oleksiejczuk has a chin. I mean, I was just talking with Jack Mike about his fight with Chidi where he got like clipped early with like a big shot and was wobbled and then just came back and just like destroyed him.
Yeah.
I just like him a lot. I think at plus money, he's a really good bet. I'm definitely going to play him. Lee mentioned in an interview that Oleksiejczuk had where how he basically said he doesn't have like an official coach anymore to not give up like 20% of his purse.
That's worrisome.
I'm not as worried about that as I can imagine some other people are. I just think he's at a point in his life where he knows like what he's not that he can't get better, but I think he's a veteran. He knows like what he knows. And as long as he's like sparring with like good training partners, I'm not as worried about it as maybe other people
also,
are.
He's so far his style is so like there's not a lot of coaching that can go in. It's not like he's like a
sort of cemented.
He the fight starts and it's just pressure.
Yeah, he pressures and he throws kicks and punches. Like that's what he's going to do.
Pereira has never done great with pressure. Pereira has been better recently where he stopped doing like all the like where he like will do like flips and like shit. But Ev and I have talked about this at our desk this week, and he mentioned everything. We went through that thought process of Lee's, what he sent to us, and then where we're like, maybe that doesn't matter that much. Also, we're getting a plus 124 price tag on him. It's not like we're laying minus 200.
Exactly.
So it's like, okay, like even initially when we were going to bet him, there was a percentage chance thinking he may get finished, he may lose, but we think it's like probably a 50-50 fight, and plus 124 is pretty good odds if you think that. And like, I mean, this is a huge card. We like giving away bets, and also like it is fun to have a bet on almost every fight. And like this is a straight bet, so simple, and I think he really his style is not going to change because he's not going to a new coach. He's just essentially being like, I'm the coach. And then I wonder who will be in his corner, just like his buddies.
I'm not sure. And as long as he has someone even that like halfway, like just knows what they're doing in the corner, like he'll be fine. Like I'm not worried about it. And I really like even go for instead of just kind of like make it. I like this play kind of like no matter. I truly really like the play.
And then Pereira, how do you even like prepare for him? He's like insane. Like he's like there's not like, oh, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that. He's like unpredictable. He'll do a flip in the fucking ring. It's like
this guy literally do like backflips like in the cage.
It's kind of like when I hear like Marvin Harrison Jr. is like, I'm not getting an agent. I know when I'm gonna get paid. It's like one of those things. It's like, why am I giving away 20% of my fucking earnings?
Yeah, that's he's out of he knows what he's doing. And also just going back to the actual breakdown of the fight, why I like him too is I think as the fight goes on, I really think it benefits him as well. We've seen Pereira lose like a lot of third rounds to guys that he probably shouldn't lose to.
That's a good point.
And I think that if it gets to that point, I think like I really like Oleksiejczuk in the third round. But I think he gets it done. I think he wins.
There you go. You could get him at plus money there. Cutelaba versus Felipe Lins on the early prelims to cap off a 5-fight early prelims. That's huge.
I sent by the way, there's 150 of you in the Rumble live right now. Please like the page.
Yes.
We interact with the Rumble chat exclusively. So like let get in there, ask questions. We'll try to respond, leave comments.
Here's one from our man Lee. Would you rather bet Oleg KO or KO or 2-3 than Oleg money line at this point?
So there is that, like, if you want to get, the thing is, it's like, if you really like a fighter and you're like, this is what I think the fight's going to go, like, you can get cute with it. I've gotten cute before, and then it's cost me, like, bets. Maybe if you want to get simple, half unit on him straight, and then the remaining units on, like, round 2, round 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, and then if he loses, then it's like you would have lost regardless. And then you can win both, and like it would pay back.
Also, Hot Billy in the Rumble chat says Cutelaba is his second favorite fighter. That's huge.
That kind of fits
after Big Tim.
Sense. When I sent that text to you guys, this is something for you guys in the chat too. Ian Cutelaba is 29.
Oh
Insane.
Yeah,
I thought he was. I've said it perfectly. I thought he was 39.
Yeah,
I thought if you would ask me, I thought it would be more likely he was 39 than 29.
The fact that he's a guy in his 20s doesn't compute. It doesn't add up.
I'm thinking like, damn, like he's a lot of wear and tear. Like,
yeah,
guy's not even 30.
He fought Ankalaev 85 times. It felt like,
felt like it was like 7 years ago he did that.
Yeah. There's gonna be a banger of a fight though. Him and Felipe Lins.
I had a very tough time having like a legitimate read on this fight. I probably like lean Cutelaba, but I'm not with like really any confidence at all. Very little. I'm kind of very like the line it's 50-50. It's minus 130 plus 110, so it's like close-ish.
I feel like Lins fights smarter.
Probably. I lean. I think Cutelaba's plus 110, I believe. I lean that way, but I've no like.
Cutelaba's now
feel good about
minus 135.
Oh, Cutelaba's the big favorite now, or not big, but you know.
Lins I mean. Plus 114.
I kind of think Lins, ever since he came back from the PFL, has kind of been on.
I know Lins plus 114. I'm looking at that, and I'm like, I kind of like that.
The juice. He may have found a good routine when he went over to another organization. Just like speculating, he looks like he's been ripped recently. I may end up being on him, but I'm not very confident.
Well, that's what you threw it because then when now the line is flipped, I was like, ooh, Lins plus 115 because that really just kind of where I'm at. Like I'm kind of like. I think it's 50-50. So if you give me plus money on a guy, like I'm inclined to lean that way. But sure, if Lynn's got up to like 125, I think I would actually I would pull the trigger.
Should be a good it's a great fight. I'm glad it's a part of it. There'll probably be a finish.
I would think so.
Yeah,
I would think so.
Who did Cutelaba knock out in the first round? What was his name? The Canadian. He fucking sucks.
Tanner Boser.
Tanner Boser.
Then on to the main prelims. Pedro Munhoz versus Kyler Phillips in the bantamweight division. Kyler Phillips looking to make his way into the top 15. He is the pretty heavy favorite here. The UFC says minus 225. Yeah, minus 225.
Weird.
Well, yeah, that's one of those fights where like he probably is going to win, but Munhoz plus 185. I would probably take a stab at that.
We're on the same page. I would say like dog or pass, if you will.
He fights so smart. Munhoz, like
Munhoz is really good.
And the thing I was saying, going off like I think I said this to you earlier in the week, Jack. Like kind of I see Phillips. I have to look at like the actual tail of the tape, but I feel like at least similar styles, length, size kind of thing to Gutierrez.
Yeah.
Who Munhoz did very well against. Actually, I think that was on the same card as the Bozer knockout
Yeah.
we just talked about. I believe that was the same card. I don't think it was a Holloway Arnold Allen card. But I just think like stylistically, he fights smart. Munhoz finds himself in a lot of these like weird, like close fights. Even I thought the Vera fight that was at the when he fought Cheeto.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was like kind of a weird fight that could have went either way. That Cheeto won, that it was definitely like he was minus like 200, way too close for comfort. Like I said, he beat Gutierrez. Even the fight with like Sugar early was like weird and not a lot of activity that I could see kind of happening here. And I wouldn't mind. He's just the savvy vet here.
Yeah.
So if it was like a pick 'em, I'd be like, oh, like give me Phillips, but plus 185. I think it's Munhoz or pass for me.
I do really like the over here in terms of a parlay piece. I really think these are like two of the most durable guys. Munhoz, I just like the only time we've really seen Munhoz not go the distance is with the eye situation with Sugar.
Yep.
And then so yeah, like I really see this going the distance. If you like Munhoz, just take him plus 185 because I bet his decision price will probably be like plus 225. Like don't even
let me see if there's them. I think there's only props out in like the few main fights right now.
Also, chatbot Jerry in the Rumble chat, bless you, says 14 fights, 14 different flags being represented. That's a cool stat.
Love that.
Wow.
14 fights is huge. Hopefully they won't lose any.
Yeah.
Because 14 makes the pace like just phenomenal.
It'll be quick all night.
Yeah, it makes it awesome.
Then we've got Gamrot versus RDA. This is a banger of a fight. This could be a fight night main event tomorrow.
For sure.
Number 6 versus number 11 in the lightweight division. Shout out RDA for constantly taking these fights. Still late in his career, he's like, yeah, I'll get in there with Gamrot.
This is a weird fight. The matchmaking forever has fought literally his list of guys he's fought is insane.
He's awesome.
I'm kind of thrown off by the matchmaking here a little bit. Not in terms of stylistically, in terms of like Gamrot was just like a backup for a title fight. Yeah. And now he's kind of fighting RDA, who's like coming off a loss to Luque at 170.
He just fought Fiziev. Obviously, there was that unfortunate
the knee injury.
But like that was a big time fight. Like RDA
got knocked out by Fiziev.
RDA just lost to Luque
at 170. I thought Gamrot was heading in such like a upward trajectory. I think Gamrot was in a weird spot because he had beaten Chookagian, but then like he didn't look great against Jalen. He won, but didn't look great against Jalen Turner.
This is like him buying his time.
He beats Fiziev off a knee injury. So like his last 2 wins, Gamrot, are just weird things happened in the fight that didn't make it very like.
He is such a guy that's like, hey, like maybe he's looking at this division like, all right, I may not be able to get a title fight for a year or two, but I will. If I go out there, like I still want to get paid. He probably gets paid a decent amount.
Yeah.
And if he got offered RDA at Miami, he's like, why not? Like I haven't fought. He hasn't really fought a real fight in over a year because the Fiziev injury was in the first round.
Yeah. That Jalen Turner fight was almost like exactly a year ago.
So like maybe he's just like, I want to get back in there. I need to. And so I get it. You are right though. The matchmaking's a little weird because it's like, what's the point? But still, beating RDA is like he may.
Oh, it's true. It's a not. No, beating RDA. Yeah. No, that's. I guess on that point, I think it's fine. It was just more like the trajectories of their career to me didn't make a lot of sense to put them together.
Yeah.
Stylistically, it makes sense. It's like a fun fight. It's all that. Beating RDA would be an incredible like feather in your cap.
The next fight, women's flyweight division, Caitlin Surmanara, who formerly Caitlin Chookagian. She's now married, or has been married for a while, but she's fighting with her husband's last name now, versus Macy Barber. Caitlin is the underdog here, plus 140,
plus 170 on DraftKings.
Plus 170 on DraftKings.
I hate fading Barber, but like I just feel like I have to bet Caitlin.
I think you have to bet Caitlin in this fight. It's like one of those where I'm looking at it. Barber got beat by Roxanne Modafferi.
Barber got I know she got the win, but like Barber got beat by fucking Miranda Maverick. By Miranda Maverick and Andrea Lee. I know Barber got the decisions in those, but she lost both those fights.
Yeah, so like Caitlin, the style she fights, it's a grind. Like every single fight is like you're gonna have to be grinding against Caitlin.
I may take
pause. But like the wrestling, the grappling, it's annoying to deal with. I think it's going to be one of those fights for Caitlin. Also, I think Caitlin via decision.
She posted on her Instagram. She said, "Thanks for the supplement stack at Gordon Ryan." So maybe she's maybe she's done.
Her and Gordon are friends.
Yeah. So I'm sure she was kidding, but still, it was a very funny post because like she was like ripped in it.
Yeah,
and like she was like flexing. She's like, "Thanks for the supplement stack at Gordon Ryan." So yeah. Maybe this may sound crazy, and this may be really like you're trying to like throw it down the middle of the pipe. But Barber round 3, Chookagian decision, like maybe. But
trying to paint the black.
Yeah, paint the black. Like I'm throwing it like it's 3-2, and I'm throwing it right on the outside. Like bases loaded, games on the line. But what do you think of?
I was kind of leaning the Barber way. You made some good points about her just being in these close fights where the last fight I remember I had her and I felt very lucky. I think I remember that right. The Andrea Lee fight. I guess I'm not really super opinionated on it. You guys make good points for the formerly Chookagian. At plus 170, I guess if I had to bet it, I'd go that way, I guess. But I kind of lean that I feel like Barber's gonna win, but I don't feel great about it betting wise.
Then the prelim headliner, Blaydes versus Almeida. Did you guys see Blaydes today called himself like a heavyweight Morab with no cardio?
With no gassing. Very weird.
Yeah, it was a weird, like what a weird like way to praise yourself.
I mean, it was basically just saying you're Morab, but then like without the part that makes Morab.
Yeah, I'm Morab, but I'm not a machine.
Yeah, so I'm also Morab without a gas tank, correct?
Yeah.
Like what? I don't know what that
like
means.
You're just saying you got great takedowns.
Yeah, I'm LeBron without the height.
Yeah, I'm LeBron without the height, weight, and basketball skills.
You're probably on Almeida here, I assume.
I like Almeida.
Him being your guy.
I do. He is my guy. I'm worried. I am worried a little bit. Mm-hmm. Definitely his toughest fight. But I was talking to Jack about this yesterday that I thought just listening to people that make good points about just American wrestling, and obviously Blaydes comes from that cloth. He's like obviously an offensive wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
When we've seen some of these guys, like when there are these super offensive American wrestlers, when they get put on their back, they're not great. And I think the thing with Almeida that I like in this fight, and that I'm not betting him like finish or anything, I'm betting him just money line. It's a pick 'em fight, minus 110 each way right now. Betting money line, and that's it because I think he's shown he can get submissions. But in like the Derek Lewis fight, for example, he will choose position like all day if you allow him.
Yeah. And
I don't know if Blaydes going to let him just be in full mount the whole time that way. It's also not a 5-round fight; it's a 3-round fight.
Yeah.
But I like his takedowns. I like his relentlessness. I like his athleticism in this fight. I think he will get takedowns. And I think he wins. Probably I lean a decision with the takedowns. But I like Almeida, and I'm gonna bet Almeida for sure.
I bet Blaydes. So my thought process was, I think he understands his defensive wrestling will be key here. His striking, I give a significant advantage to. And then on top of it, I do think he is like the wrestling, maybe kind of a scratch, or you give a little bit of an edge to Almeida. There is a part of me that's like, damn, like what happens if he just like lays on top of him?
Yeah.
But I do think Blaydes is the way to beat Blaydes that we've seen is like bonking him. Ngannou, Lewis, Pavlovich. I don't think Almeida will do that, but there is a path to victory for him. I'm laying minus 120. He's down to minus 110, so I've kind of got reversed on the
I think he could get bonked, to be honest. Yeah,
he could. I mean, like this is I've seen a lot of people split on this fight. So, but I'm like when I close my eyes, I see Blaydes like kind of just like piecing him up on the feet a little bit, and even like getting a takedown for himself. But I could be wrong. As the week goes on, I'm kind of like, I don't think I'm gonna hedge out of it because the line just. I'm just going to roll with it. 1.5 units on Blaydes right now. We'll see how it goes. It's a great fight. This could be a main event for a fight night, and I'd be excited.
For sure.
Absolutely.
And Blaydes, but like Blaydes, I just still think is very good. I still think Blaydes is very good. Almeida is too, and I don't even think if you lose, the only thing is 3 rounds here. it's tough. Like if Almeida gets on top of you round 1, then it's like you can't get taken down again.
That's why I think it being 3 rounds helps Almeida.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there.
That's my opinion. And I agree. My biggest fear is honestly Blaydes bonking him. Just because like we haven't like Almeida hasn't really had to strike with people, but it's because his takedowns have been so good.
I also
I said what I just think he's gonna get takedowns. That's my pick.
Blaydes is gonna be significantly bigger than him. Like Almeida not too long ago was gonna fight at 205, fighting at 205. Like
that's true.
Now, then again, Derek Lewis was significantly bigger than him. So it's not, and like Almeida's gonna be a decent size in there, and that doesn't mean he can't get takedowns and whatnot. But I still think Blaydes has the heavyweight body, and Almeida, I think, still growing a little bit into it. He's so young. Like Almeida's going to be around. This isn't a disrespect to him, but we'll see. It's a hell of a fight. Like it's a chess match, and it's like I'm good at this, you're good at that. But yeah, we'll see. Like this would be a big win for either.
I mean, if especially if Almeida wins, like where else is there to really go besides like. Fucking like Aspinall or like Gane
or Pavlovich.
Or like Pavlovich. Like there's literally no one else that would make sense if he wins this fight.
Him against Pavlovich would be sick. Him against Gane would be sick.
Him versus Pavlovich, I think, would be probably the one to make.
Yeah, because
with how tight up heavyweight is right now, I think if you're gonna give Aspinall another fight, I think it's Gane should be it.
And then
obviously
that's an exciting matchup too.
I think that's I
like. Just any of them making Gane Aspinall and then Almeida Pavlovich, like wins, both of those are great.
Oh yeah. I think all like the heavyweight's like in a pretty good spot right now, and then obviously, I mean, we still have this like John Jones, Stipe up there. It's like weird.
And I think the Legends division.
Yeah.
And I think if Almeida wins, I think that plays like doing those 2 fights plays out so perfectly for the future of the division because if John Jones really I think he's gonna beat Stipe. If he wins and retires. Bang, then you have like you can basically the winner of Aspinall Gane will like be in that spot. If Jones wants to fight again, which I'm calling my shot. I think Aspinall wipes the floor with Gane. That's my opinion. That I think if he takes that fight, you have a mega fight. If he doesn't, even Aspinall say Aspinall's the interim and just becomes like the champ through not beating Jones, then you have the winner of like Pavlovich and Almeida right there.
Yeah.
And you can either like, which Almeida would probably sell better in terms of like, we saw him fight Pavlovich and he knocked him out in a minute.
Yeah.
So I don't know how sellable that is again.
Yeah.
Knocked him out literally like with an injury off the couch.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, but still, it would still be like someone's getting knocked out again, basically. So
totally.
You could still
I think you can like Pavlovich, like Aspinall again. I think it'll happen again just because.
I think so too.
Like
I thought it that night too. Like watching it that night, I was
it's just like these guys are gonna fight it, and Pavlovich is just like also just kind of like you got knocked out in the biggest fight of your career. You went back into like the snow of Russia and like you went like the Siberian forest and trained like it's like but. Right away, no. But like I think like in a few years we'll see it again.
We need all 4 of those guys to fight all each other eventually.
It's almost
like Aspinall needs to fight Almeida at some point. Gane and Pavlovich would be sick too. Gane Pavlovich needs to happen at some point.
Yeah.
All 4 of those guys need to fight each other at some point.
And then I mean like there's this
that's like that. I mean, those 4 are kind of like the core future of like the division. And they're all like youngish.
Heavyweight as a whole in MMA right now is really great. We don't know what's gonna happen with Ngannou because if he wins on Friday, I mean we'll never see him again. But then like Renan Ferreira really bonking Bader was unbelievable. And then what's his name in one who owes Peter Yan 39,000.
No, it was Morab.
Oh, sorry, Morab.
39 grand.
Yep.
That was such a funny tweet. He's like, congrats on being a 3-time champ or like 3-belt champ. Now you still owe me $39K.
We made a $50,000
bet.
You've only paid me 11. Like,
yeah, what could the bet have been?
He even said you have a balance. You have a balance of $39,000. He sent him an invoice over Twitter.
Yeah, it's like a company hitting you up. You still owe. I want to say that so that guy's Russian. He was like, you'll never beat Yan. And then Morab was like, I will. And Yan was tagged in that tweet.
Gotcha.
So that might be it. He said he bet $50K on himself, just like
anyway, yeah. Like another thing is like that's he's Russian. Morab is Georgian. So there could be something there too. I would also love it if it was just over like a football match. Like it was just like you bet.
Yeah,
like,
we threw 50 stacks in like a soccer game.
Now on to the main card. Petr Yan versus Song Yadong in the first fight of the pay-per-view. Crazy that this is the fight to kick things off. Yadong slight underdog here. Yan slight favorite. What are the actual odds here? Yan minus 120.
Yeah, minus 120 right now.
And Yadong plus 100. Such a good fight. Such a hard fight to read. The fan in me wants to root for Song Yadong here. Not that I dislike Petr Yan. Song Yadong, just like more exciting style, probably. I think I'm just rooting for him and staying away from it betting wise.
I've talked to Jack Mike about this already. I think Petr Yan is getting wildly disrespected right now.
Is he?
By people, by like the Vegas odds makers, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
I think this is a world where he gets these split decision, like just get his hand raised in the same exact fight, how it played out. And he's minus like 300 here.
Yeah.
And because of those things, I think you're getting an incredible discount. I think if you just look at the guys they fought, like Song's obviously has good wins, but they're like Ricky Simone. They're like, was it Gutierrez he beat?
Yep.
Like guys like that, where like fucking Jans are like, he was beating the shit out of Aljo. He like almost beat, pretty much everyone almost in agreement. He beat Sugar. Like he beat Sanhagen. Like he's beaten some really good guys. He beat the shit out of Aldo. Beat the shit out of Aldo. I mean, when I just think here he's just
3 years ago today was the on name.
Yep.
Shout out Mitt Romney.
That changed it. That fucked up his entire life.
Yep.
If that doesn't happen, he might still have the belt to this day.
I think
Morab probably would have taken it, but regardless, I just think he's so good. He's so technical. He can grapple. He can strike. I don't think if you're ever going to see a motivated Petr Yan in your life, it's in this fight after he got embarrassed, washed by Morab.
Yeah,
he's like 28, 29. What is he? Something like that. Incredibly young. I just think he's the side here. I think he's
31.
31. Still, he's young, and that's MMA young. He won when he won the belt. He was like 28, 20, whatever. I just think he's getting disrespected here. I'm taking him straight. I feel pretty confident about it too.
There's a world where we're sitting here talking about Yan like being the GOAT. That like all the title defenses, and I think Ev even said that to me earlier in the week. There's a world where that exists. And also the Morab fight, Magic is firm on that. He was injured.
He looked injured the way he did. He just didn't throw, which is so not Petr Yan, especially in a 5-round fight.
Yeah, and Yan is the type that's like, he's all about respect and whatnot. He doesn't really I think he did say something that was like, I was injured, but he's not the guy who's going to go on a tour and be like, oh my God. Like,
no.
And Morab won fair and square. Get it. Song Yadong, I'm a big fan of. He's awesome. But he's also a guy that, like, this would have been an awesome 5-round main event, though. Because, I agree. Because they're both, like, so, like, they get better as the fight goes on.
I would have liked Yan even more if it was 5 rounds, to be honest.
Yeah, but I'm with Ev. I'm on Yan. I think this is just a great spot for him. You're almost getting him at a cheap price.
I think you're getting him at a huge cheap.
Like, I feel like this should discount. Be like low key, like minus. Am I crazy to say minus 200?
Dude, I said even though it would be 300, I think it should be minus like 250. Yeah, I just think he's just much better, much more technical skill.
Also,
I think he has, and even the guys he's beat, like even like Gutierrez, like he would use a lot of grappling and stuff like that. I think if someone's gonna do well grappling here, it's Petr Yan. He was grappling the shit out of O'Malley. He was at O'Malley too, but I'm saying he was grappling the shit out of Aljamain Sterling for some of those rounds.
Yeah.
Like he is a legit grappler with really, really good technical striking. Muay Thai is incredible. I just think he's a better overall fighter. I like Song. Like, it's not me trying to hate on Song. I think Song's great. I would bet him against like 95% of the division. But Petr Yan is one of them, especially at this price. Love Petr Yan.
I heard you guys talking about this one yesterday. Gilbert Burns versus Jack Della Maddalena. Gilbert Burns, number 4 in the welterweight division. Jack Della, number 11. He is the favorite, though, on DraftKings right now. Oh, I just lost it onto tennis bets again.
You're betting tennis?
I was not betting tennis. They
like,
just keep popping up on my thing. Jack Della is minus 162. Yeah. Mincey's there with Pete Wentz and like Ricochet from WWE, the most random people there.
Right? Yeah, and then the Ricochet from WWE, and then like there was some other random.
It's a very random. So I feel like a whodunit movie is about to break out. Like someone's gonna wind up dead in the courthouse or something.
Before you continue, I think Yadong over 2.5 is another great parlay piece. These two are very durable. I think it should be up in the minus 400 range.
Burns
Maddalena. Oh my God.
Is this one where you want to take a shot on an underdog?
So I've been going back and forth. 2 weeks ago, you asked me, I'd been like Burns all the way. Then earlier this week, I was like, I guess JDM, maybe we're like overstating what Hafez did to him. But then I'm like, if Burns gets like Hafez, whatever his name is, Basil,
whatever,
had JDM in like that arm choke, triangle arm choke, what's going to stop if Burns gets a hold of him? What's going to stop him from getting the submission?
And I've been the one kind of like I think probably the firmest out of the group on Burns. I've been on Burns. I've stayed true to that. I like him money line. Like the money lines, it's only gotten better because I liked it when it was a pick'em.
Yeah,
I liked Burns when it was a pick'em. Now he's plus 136. I really like him. Because I think people are afraid. I think people are afraid of it. I understand it, but I'm going to sell him why I like him. I think people are afraid that he's like falling in love with the striking too much and things like that. He fought in Miami last year and he grappled Masvidal the whole fight.
Yeah.
I think this is a fight where he knows he has such a clear edge. And if he loses this fight, it'll be the first time he'll be kind of like out of the top 5. And it'll be out of really the mix of the top for the first time. If he loses, I think he knows he needs to win it. He needs to win it bad. He's obviously coming off the loss. Got injured to Bilal.
And he's getting up there in age where it's like,
exactly,
you have to win this.
Yes. Now and I think he knows that. And I think this is where we'll get into the next fight where people are afraid of Kevin Holland not doing these things. I think Burns will do the game plan that gets him the win, not just go like just fisticuffs with a guy like Maddalena, who he knows he should not do that. I think he grapples. I think he gets it there. I think he probably gets a sub. I agree. I'm going to sprinkle a sub as well, but I'm going to be on Burns money line for sure.
All right. Yeah. I'm sold on Burns. I also kind of, I liked it earlier in the week, but I kind of like the under here.
I had that highlighted.
Yeah.
It's going up, but I do think, because I think it's either like a Maddalena knockout or Burns submission, probably.
Yeah. I think the under 2.5, even if you wanted to get a little like under 2.5. Yeah. Great fight though, man. And then this next fight, the
debut of Michael Venom Page against Kevin Holland. This is super interesting. I've been a huge MVP fan for years. I had him in the office in 2017, I think. Me and Large interviewed him. I didn't even have a show to interview him on, so he was on Barstool Breakfast. I just wanted to interview Michael Venom Page. Huge comic book fan, huge nerd. I think I'm rooting for him in this fight. That being said, getting minus 135 on Kevin Holland, considering who each man has faced in their career, like the actual resumes, the experience, I think is crazy. I think, again, I'm a Michael Venom Page guy. I feel like if he wins this fight, becomes a superstar, that'd be amazing. Kevin Holland at minus 136 or 135, whatever, feels like a no-brainer to me.
I already bet Kevin Holland. It was at minus 135. It still is there.
I feel like he should be minus 250 minimum.
Oh, that would mean a hammer play from you.
Like
you should go get in there. Pause.
This might be a hammer play from me.
The MVP is 36. He can't there's some photos out there of him. He doesn't look great. He's a little chunky. I think Kevin Holland is just like he has a reach advantage on him. MVP does all these spinning kicks and he's crazy. He's a great striker, but I think Kevin Holland kind of can match that. Now, on Ab's point of view, it's what if Kevin Holland goes in there and it's just he tries to be like MVP, he's just Kevin Holland's not above anything. He could do anything in there. That being said, I know Wonder Boy eventually got him. This man almost had Wonder Boy knocked out.
Yeah.
And I think Wonder Boy would like style an MVP. Like Wonder Boy's MVP, but better.
It's a good point.
MVP's 36. I made a TikTok, call him 39. People were mad at me in the comments, but he's 36.
He's going to be 37 in like a few weeks.
And I just think Kevin Holland wins this. It's like I also think he has better cardio, and I also think he's more durable. So I think he just finds like a. Also, Holland's gotten kind of good at like if he just wants to go in there and kind of like maybe he takes MVP down. Like he's not awful at that. He's gotten better. You remember?
Absolutely.
He went to Dagestan, I think. Like as you remember when like Derek Brunson, like like he was, but he's gotten better at that.
He came back. He showed it off a little bit.
Yeah. Like you never know. Like so like Dagestani Holland, you never know. So I do like Kevin Holland.
I love Kevin Holland.
Here. That's a trifecta.
I love him here.
Yeah.
Probably love him probably as much as I like Jan. And I really like Jan. I like Holland a lot as well.
You have a lot of. Sometimes we come in here and we have not a lot of opinions on a card. Feels like you have a lot of opinions on this card.
I do. Good, like the one because I've stayed firm on like all of them. Like I've been on Burns the whole time, Jan the whole time, Holland the whole time. So the second they announced the fight, I was like, I like that guy, that guy, that guy.
Yep.
And I feel very strongly about it. This is another. I feel very strongly about it for a lot of things you guys have both already said. I also I bring another angle to it that I want people to consider as well is that I think Kevin Holland's coming off a weird performance against Jack, where there wasn't a lot of volume. I thought it was a fight that he could have won.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Jack he was the rightful winner on the cards. But I think it was a fight where Holland didn't do enough. I thought he didn't like try the grappling more. He didn't try grappling at all. And I think coming off a loss, I think in the past has been when you've seen him like go back to some of those things.
Yeah. And
like actually try to like even a club and stuff or something. And I agree with everything you said, like Jack said too about Michael Venom Page, where he's old. What you brought up, like just the competition difference is just enormous.
Kevin
Holland was fighting at killers at 185 for half his time in the UFC.
Yeah.
Now he's done at 170. I think he gets it done here. I almost want to sprinkle is the submission out because I think even like what's it plus 550? I think it's worth a sprinkle. I'm gonna bet a more money line like big, but maybe a little sprinkle on sub. But I really like Kevin Holland here. I know I've seen the people that I respect actually like MVP here, but
oh really?
I genuinely would be like surprised if he won.
Yeah.
I truly would be like, wow. The only thing I'd be surprised if Holland does what he should do and still loses.
Yes.
I'd be surprised. If he does his Kevin Holland thing
smart
and wins and loses a split decision, that would not surprise me.
Yeah.
But if he does what he's like what I think he should do, which you can't always bet on. But I even think if he even like Jack said, he almost had Wonder Boy like hurt badly. I think Wonder Boy is way better than MVP, and I just think even if Holland doesn't do what he should do, he still should win. I just think he's that much better every way. Holland.
The co-main event.
Oh, here we go.
I mean, it could be the main event. It could be the people's main event. Dustin Poirier versus Benoit Saint Denis. I think it's a stay away fight for me. Dustin Poirier plus 170, Benoit minus 205 at this point. My head tells me Poirier coming off the loss, coming to fight the fucking savage that is BSD is a bad idea.
Killed somebody with a rock. Don't forget.
Might have killed somebody with a rock. I think Benoit's going to win, but like, I don't know if I would play him minus 205. Would you?
I think I still would.
Yeah.
I think it's a 5-round fight. That we've seen this. It's like on an age-old story of the young lion comes and kills the old wise, like whoever he was, like the old he was the lion. There was a point in time that Poirier was a lion.
It's the animal kingdom.
He's still a lion too many, but I think BSD is not one of them. I think BSD, I said, he just has the eyes of a killer, just a ferocious man. It's 5 rounds. If he doesn't just get like bonked badly, and I don't think he would, because I think he's pretty durable. Even at 170, we saw him be like as durable as it gets.
Yeah.
In that fight that a lot of people thought should have been stopped, that he took on short notice up a weight class, and he was still even kind of green at that time, which is crazy.
And then what was that fight he got into before the Frivola fight?
Thiago Moises,
and like Moises,
which I thought he was incredible in that fight.
And Moises landed some bombs on him, but he just kept coming forward.
He just Benoit Saint Denis has no fear. He is truly the God of War. That's his nickname. He is the God of War. This man is literally a trained killer and
kill somebody with a rock.
He is the French version of Navy SEALs. He is special forces. He's a sicko. He's like 27, 28.
He may save the reputation of Frenchmen everywhere.
Oh,
yes.
Like,
yes. No, he is.
You think of like a slender.
That's the war he's fighting now. He's fighting to break out of that.
And I think if he grapples, I think that's where he wins. I think if you said how does he get it done, I'm saying sub round 2 or round 3 is my prediction.
All right.
Let me ask you this: if he knocks out Poirier, is Poirier going to retire?
I think Poirier might retire with a loss regardless.
Poirier's been a little
hinting.
weird this week.
And that's another reason,
things.
just even more reason. Maybe he's got a toe or two out the door already.
Yes.
If he loses, he's even saying, I don't need the money.
Yep.
He said that with Okamoto. He said, I don't need the money.
He's
the
making hot sauce money now.
Yeah, and he got the red penny night.
Yep.
Which he confirmed Mighty Mouse it actually red penny night. He was like, yes.
Cerrone said it wasn't.
I know.
So
yeah,
Poirier, and I also knew Poirier was different because Poirier.
I may have been.
I knew especially Poirier spoke on this. He made a ton of money for the first fight, aka the second fight, but 1st fight of like this version of themselves. And he had a clause in it. If he wins and do a rematch, he gets like big on the like. It was almost like an album being like a record label. If you hit this one, like we'll pay you quadruple, whatever, 10x on the second one. And that happened. So I knew like that third one, which also did disgusting.
Crazy.
It's the second biggest pay-per-view, I believe, ever to the Khabib Conor. So he made like a disgusting amount of money from those 2 fights, especially the second one.
Good for him.
And he like hot sauce is doing well. Like he's got a lot. He's made a ton. He's
good hot sauce, by the way. I've tried it.
I think it's not like to Poirier. Volkanovski kind of like an example of the line. I think it's not that the fight's going to go like that style, but I just think like the hungry lion is the hungry young cub is going to come kill the lion.
Round 2, round 3 is Benoit. Benoit's plus 500, plus 700. If you do round 2, round 3, stop. And maybe even more than that. Benoit, if this gets into round 2, Benoit is going to murder Poirier, I think. The more this fight goes, the more. I already have 2 units on him at plus 100 when this came out.
Phenomenal grab.
And I think Lee got plus 140.
It legitimately, like, if you got that, truly kudos to the 2 of you. That's like,
I'm not
incredible.
By the way, I know I put my record and stuff out there. That's not part of it. That's like no one really got that. It's just DraftKings, shout out DraftKings, released this, I think, like a month or 2 ago.
Yeah.
I saw Lee tweeting about it. I was like, oh, I'm taking that. Now it's up to minus 200. I still think it's worth a bet. I'm going to have him inside the distance in a few parlays. I think he's going to kill him.
He's inside the distance minus 150, that's why I hesitated that. I almost think something at that point. I just think there's like no way it goes 5 rounds. That would be, if this fight actually goes, no matter who wins, if it goes 5 rounds, that would be the most shocking thing on the card.
Yes. Agreed.
There'd be nothing that would shock me more than that, truly.
Yeah.
If it going a full 5 rounds.
So that is a phenomenal, this fight, like I really think Benoit, this is when Benoit becomes a superstar.
Yes,
I
agree.
friends start hitting you up. They're like, who is this
Who
guy?
is this?
Yes.
Yeah.
When they see this, look in this man's eyes. Fuck what Rogan said about the Rock thing, which is probably even true. This man has the eyes. He has taken souls.
Yeah.
There's a dark place inside of those eyes that, like people talk about, this man does not fight for decisions. He fights to kill or be killed. That's it.
And he's not getting killed.
No, and it's him, it's you or me, and it ain't gonna be me.
Yeah.
And then the main event of the evening, Sean O'Malley defends the Bantamweight Championship against Marlon Cheeto Vera. A rematch. I was at the first fight, actually. It was one of the few people in the building.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Was that
was
that Stipe
Cormier? Yeah.
Mm.
And I was there at the Apex for it. It was very upsetting to watch Sugar get wheeled out as a big Sugar fan. Going into that fight, I was very confident in Sugar. I got to say, I'm pretty confident in him coming into this fight as well. I don't know where this confidence is coming from, but there's something in me that's like, yeah, Sugar's going to go bonk him. I think he is the better fighter. I think he's the better striker. I don't want to call the first fight a fluke because it was like an amazing calf kick that deadened the nerve. But like, that's not going to happen every fight. That's not something, I don't think he can just go in there and do it again. If he does, credit to him.
I will say though, like ever since then, those leg kicks but like he hasn't been finished. There are sometimes it feels like those legs out there for Sugar, but I don't really know what to do with this. I kind of just feel like it's kind of lame, but like Sugar by decision.
I think there's a way Sugar's path to victory. It's weird because Cheeto's never been knocked out. He's never been even like finished, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
So on the bonkable meter, he's Vittori. He should be his own. He's
true.
Vittori. He's his own world. He's
True.
like unbonkable to this point. We don't know what's going to happen. But to this point in his career, he's been unbonkable. I go so back. I love both guys so much. I was a huge Sugar guy.
Yeah, I'm
also like a huge Cheeto guy. After hearing just like learn about like his story and everything, I think he's awesome.
I think he's doing Bussin' with the Boys today.
I'm excited. I'll definitely listen. I really. There's nothing about Cheeto truly that I don't like.
Yeah.
But I think Sugar is just so much better than him as like a fighter. But there's a weird world all of a sudden if this goes to like 4 or 5, we've never seen Sugar go more than 3 rounds.
Yeah.
I think his cardio will be fine, but when I pictured, I'm like, what if all of a sudden it gets extended? We're like deep around 4, round 5. Sugar's getting tired, and then Cheeto starts taking those chances he needs to. He's dangerous.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, he's definitely in. I agree with both of you. Like, I don't think Sugar, like, we shouldn't be worrying about like him just, like he's gonna get kicked again and something's gonna happen. But Cheeto is very dangerous. We've seen him knock out. He definitely like hurts people when he touches them. So I'm worried about this. I like both guys so much. I think this might be like a kind of a cop out for me, almost like I'm not gonna bet it because I almost like won't. I like both guys so much I won't really care who wins. Like both, I think will be great storylines.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you, Jack. Back though, I think but I think if it goes that way, I'm kind of worried because I think if it's Sugar by decision, that means the fight wasn't like super exciting. Yeah. It's not definitely that way, but I know where it could. I mean, the over 4.5 is minus like it's crazy juice. Yeah, over 4.5 rounds. They're basically saying it's going to go the distance. They think at least.
Do you does Cheeto round 4, round 5 interest you?
Maybe. I mean, just because I said it, I probably should sprinkle something because I bet those numbers are like insane. Probably like 30-40 to 1. I'll look, but yeah, that maybe I will just sprinkle a little bit of that. But it's just a tough. It's just like a tough matchup. Yeah, 25 to 1 and 28 to 1. I'm seeing. Okay. Sugar by decisions plus 100, but also Cheeto's like he's getting older still. I don't think he's actually even that old still, but he's getting older. He's had some some weird performances. I would think this would be one that he's going to be up for, and like especially if he gets later, he's gonna know like I need to take some chances. But maybe that's how he ends up walking into something that finally does hurt him.
The weird performance was like the Sandhagen one, but he just kept getting taken down. Like O'Malley's not gonna do that.
But even the Munhoz one, he won, but it was like, it was very to me.
It was like when the scorecards were being read, I was like, I don't know.
I remember I bet Cheeto like minus 200, like kind of big, and I was there in person, so it's tough to kind of read one live. But I remember they read the scorecards, and I was like very concerned. But I think he won unanimous.
He did.
But I remember like being like, oh fuck, like I don't know if he won that. And Pedro to me, we talk about like punting Collar Phillips is good, but
Munhoz took round 1 in that, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I think he did too.
And Vera historically wins round 1, but he did have the quote unquote like stoppage on O'Malley in round 1.
He's been kind of a slow starter though at times.
Who?
Cheeto.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he always loses, but like it's ironic because his win against O'Malley wasn't round 1. But like I did see a tweet today, and Andrew Gombas or Gombas, however you say his name, quote tweeted it. I think it was like Pro MMA Betting said,
I did see that. Yeah,
bet him after round 1, and then Gombas said, imagine showing this to someone before, like telling
right
someone
after,
this before the last O'Malley Cheeto Vera fight. So I mean, that's why it's like there are ways you could be strategic in like betting on MMA, and I think we do it pretty strategically. But you can almost be too cute sometimes, and that's one of those things. But when you were bringing up Cheeto Vera on like, as this gets a little bit later, and maybe O'Malley, we did see him. He was kind of tired after round 3 against Jan, but maybe he just emptied the gas tank.
He did really well in round 3, though. I thought so. It's like
maybe it was a empty the gas tank kind of thing, and then like he'll be fine here. But round 4, round 5 may be interesting. Like you never know. Cheeto really goes for it. Even like I could kind of see it right now. Anik being like just like announcing like Cheeto Vera, like can you believe it?
I think I have to because I swear to God, I've been having these weird thoughts.
Like
I've been having these crazy being like, I don't know what it is.
Ryan Garcia
Visions
talking about Bohemian Grove, and like Ev's just in his room thinking like I have these
weird thoughts.
Cheeto's done it. Like he does it. Like he was like I did, and I almost like a I don't think it would be this like incredible, like the actual finishing sequence, but Cruz was doing like really well against him. And listen, Cruz and Sugar are like different animals, especially at this stages. Sugar's much faster, all that kind of stuff.
But he kind of moves a lot like Cruz.
But
like,
he's I think he's much faster and more explosive.
Striker.
But he's much faster, more explosive. But Cheeto's just like, he's hard to hurt. We've seen Rob Font was like, or even like Aldo fights where he was Rob Font, where he's like touching him up, touching him up, boom, one shot, all of a sudden he loses the round because he gets dropped. And who knows if like Cheeto can maybe force some of that if he extends it, and like he did with Cruz, he extends it, and then like lands a huge shot, hurts him, and then maybe takes advantage of it.
I close my eyes and see round 4 ends. Sugar's limping over to the like his seat. He's up 3-1.
Yep.
And Cheeto's like, they go to Cheeto, and then like
Jason Perillo's screaming in his ear. This is it. 5 minutes.
And Rogan's like, I don't know, man. Is he gonna be able to survive for round 5? And then like Anik says some iconic line, and then round 3 or round like 3 minutes in, like Cheeto lands like this vicious like leg kick, and O'Malley's dropped, and he gets on top, and he's like, "This is it!" And like Rogan's like, "That's it!" Oh my God. And it's like 30-1.
I'm running my part 28-1.
Yeah,
28-1. I told you all.
Like Venezuela.
I'm tweeting in all caps.
Wait, no, Ecuador, right?
Ecuador.
Same, very similar.
Oh man, I really do. There's something. I just have a weird vibe, and it was kind of the. Damn, I didn't predict this at all, but I remember having like a very similar-ish weird vibe when Adesanya fought Pereira the first time here. I had like a very eerie. I even ended up betting Adesanya big that night, but I remember because I felt stupid because I said on the show I just had like an instinct about Pereira, and I bet Adesanya huge, and it burned me. I got it back the next time, thank God. But I don't know. I just have this weird like Cheeto's so durable. What's going to happen when he just sits there and hits him for 3 rounds and Cheeto's just like, what's up, fucker?
Yeah.
Like, he's still just looking at you in your face.
He's gangster as fuck. Like that.
Even which the fight's not going to go like this, but even like the Matinho fight, he threw a million punches. He's not going to throw that much activity with Cheeto.
Yeah, of course.
But he was like, he was getting exhausted at the end where Matinho was still just like walking him.
Matinho
was getting battered, but still walking him down, which was crazy. Yeah. And I've never seen anything like that. I don't know if I'll ever see anything quite like that again.
The American zombie, as we call him.
Yeah, I mean, Cheeto has that zombie in him. Like he's just like determined. He just doesn't get hurt. He's like unhurtable. He's unbonkable, like I said. And I just keep thinking that and being like, damn, if this goes to like that 5th round, which I think it could, Cheeto could be, or Sugar could be in trouble.
Those leg kicks keep adding up.
Pop. I just picture Tim Welch in the corners, like begging on him, just hang on, Sugar, like just literally talking about him, just surviving the round so we could win that 3-2 decision.
Yeah.
And then the entire world's be like, oh, Morab is going to literally like drown this guy in like the 4th round, 3rd round.
All right, so that was UFC 299.
I think we're on the right track here. Round 4, round 5. We get there, and then we have a shot. Or O'Malley bonks him round 1, round 2, and we get like a really good line.
Live line?
A really good line on Morab against O'Malley.
I see.
Like it's like, the O'Malley superstardom is like.
You were saying full bonk.
Yeah, bonk.
You were saying like
bonk out cold.
I don't know if you could knock him out cold, but he could definitely hurt him enough to like finish. Also, I mean,
who knows?
I mean, we said that about Masvidal forever. Then and then he was slept.
Exactly.
So I mean, yeah, you never know. Everyone's against knockoutable eventually.
Yeah, Balsley says, see you boys at 1:30 a.m. Yeah, on Saturday night.
Yeah, we'll be here.
Yeah,
we'll be here. So
no matter
back
what.
In.
Well, I mean, it's something could happen, but like
probably not. We'll probably be live.
I would say 99%.
Well, 99.9%. I have every intention to be
unless the world is coming to an end. Yeah.
We're finally here though. We've been thinking about this card. I've said it perfectly. Like he was like, you've been thinking about it. Like we've been thinking about it.
It's on our doorstep. We're on the precipice. It's Saturday night.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday, gentlemen.
And if you're watching the replay, please like it. Send it to your friends. Say like, these guys are so funny or like insightful.
We got winners.
If you're on Rumble, please like our page on Rumble.
Yes.
On other platforms, please. And also, as Robbie points out, we do have the audio podcast form. So like if you can't watch on video, you're at work, whatever, you can listen
to us on a commute.
AirPods.
Yeah. There you go.